Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. You know, Chelsea, they may not have much quality control at times when it comes to signing players, but you cannot disrespect their ability to get deals done. And Caicedo, we can tell you tonight, has chosen Chelsea as his football club. I'm not telling you that. This is coming in from social media. This is coming in from Plettigol. Fabrizio's hinted at it heavily as well. But Caicedo, we were only talking about this morning, about what an interesting transfer battle this was going to be. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to take long to reach its conclusion. Caicedo has chosen Chelsea is the big story tonight. Bayern Munich miss out. Arsenal apparently pulled out a little bit earlier today to focus on Declan Rice, which gives Chelsea this amazing signing, which I'm sat here stunned because I'm like, well, look, Chelsea, look, as I said at the start of the video, whatever you think about Chelsea, whether it's the Abramovich years or whether it's the Todd Boehly years, you can't argue with the fact that they go out and get deals done. Todd Boehly, I think, has been a bit haphazard, but if they stabilise, I mean, look, even in January, Enzo Fernandez, Badiashile, João Felix on loan, whether they work out or not, I still think they're good signings. Last summer, Koulibaly was a good signing. Sterling was a good signing. So they're capable of making good signings and they're capable of being very efficient. And I think this shows again. But the thing I find amazing, and the credit to Chelsea here, is that is not an easy deal to do. And forget how easy it is to negotiate with Brighton. And maybe Colwill is an interesting factor here because Brighton do want to sign him. And will we see him go the other way? Because Chelsea, that may be how they've got Brighton to agree. But how they've got Caicedo to agree is fascinating when you consider Chelsea are not nailed on to get top four next year. It's not like, oh, it's a year out the Champions League and we'll be back. The way the Premier League is now, Man City you'd expect, Newcastle could be there, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool. There's 5 clubs for the top 4. So Chelsea don't necessarily step into that. And they're not in the Champions League and they're not in the Europa League. So Caicedo going to Chelsea when they haven't got European football, and it's not nailed on that they'll definitely get it next year. I think they probably will, but it's not nailed on. That is a real scoop. What a scoop by Chelsea. And they, you know, some people might say, well, maybe they're only horse in the race, but they can't be. And if they are, why are they? Why are Man United not in for him? Why are Newcastle not in for him? Why are Man City not in for him? Why did Arsenal pull out? Why are Liverpool not in for him? All those clubs could do with a midfielder like Caicedo. So you're telling me that all those clubs that have Champions League football or Europa League football in the case of Liverpool have all gone, no, we don't really want Caicedo. Let's give Chelsea the chance to buy a player that could be massively pivotal in them changing their fortunes next season. It probably comes down to the financial package. Don't ask me how Chelsea do it. I don't know. I don't know how Chelsea can go out and spend another 200-300 million this summer based on what they spent last summer and in January. I don't know. I'm not a Chelsea fan. Chelsea fans, let us know in the chat. How are you doing it? I presume you're going to do it the way you always do it. Watch out on how Chelsea sell players because they'll probably get a good price for Mount, Havertz, Kovacic. So that's probably how they're going to do it. But I would imagine they're going to spend 70 million on... I mean, look, I'm going to fall off my chair if we hear that Caicedo is going to Chelsea and he's got a release clause of 25 million, like McAllister. I mean, it was 35 million. That would make it even more stunning. I would imagine Chelsea have got this deal done because they've outbid everybody else. Is Caicedo worth 70 million? Probably not. But I wouldn't, if I was United or Arsenal or anyone else, move out of that deal because he might be slightly overpriced. And is that not a risk for Chelsea if everyone steps off and says, you go for it then? I mean, I think he's a good player. And I think that 70 million, maybe that's what put people off. What are your thoughts on that? Are Chelsea overpaying a bit if they've outbid people? I don't know. I think he's a good player. I would, if I was Arsenal, certainly as a Man United fan, I would like Caicedo at Manchester United. Why has he chosen Chelsea? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I personally think if there were, and I'm not being disrespectful to Chelsea here because I'm just doing this on the current situation. If everybody offers the same money and it's Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea going for him, why would you choose Chelsea? London, well, Arsenal and the Champions League, and you go straight into their starting 11. Man United's the team apparently he supports. Bayern Munich's a massive club as well. We don't know. And I'm not dismissing that. Maybe he just wants Chelsea. Maybe he does, but that's, to me, makes it even more praiseworthy for Chelsea to get that deal done. What I suspect has happened is that Chelsea have put the most money on the table, which is what they have to do. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're Chelsea and you've got no Champions League football and you've got no European football at all, and you're competing against clubs that do, you've got to do something a little bit more than you would do if you just won the league or you were in the Champions League. If everything's stable at Chelsea, you can probably battle it out and say we're the best club for you. But it's not stable. They're not in Europe. There's no guaranteed success path. So you've got to sell him the project, but you've also got to, reward him for joining the project. So Chelsea will be paying a lot of money for him. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's a player that a lot of clubs would like. And I would suspect that Chelsea have probably blown everyone out the water because Arsenal were very interested. I'm very interested to know what the price is going to be because reportedly Arsenal had a bid in January of 60 rejected. So if Arsenal have walked away, you'd imagine that it's going to be around 70. That's what I think is going to happen here. So I'll be very interested to know what the price is if clubs are backing away and say let him go to Chelsea, because not everyone can just spend silly money. So it'd be interesting. But look, he was always going to leave Brighton. The player himself, look, there's always the Basuma effect. What happened when he went to Spurs? Everyone thought it'd be a massive success, and he wasn't. That can of course happen, and also, as I said, keep an eye on the lad that was on trial at Chelsea with Brighton. There might be some agreements with Brighton, maybe Conor Gallagher or something like that. That's another thing that Chelsea are very good at. When they want to get deals done, they've got such a big squad, they can go, let us have him and you can have this and this. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of deals going on. And Brighton and Chelsea have got a good relationship. There's been Potter went, Cucurella went. There might be something going on there as well. So look, interesting. Give us your thoughts below, what your thoughts are. I think that's a significant deal. I think it's a very big, I think it will end up being a big deal. But I think it's the sort of deal when you're looking at Chelsea, if you're Pochettino, that's the sort of deal. With Kante going, Mount's probably going to go, bringing in a player like Caicedo, one of the standout players in the Premier League last year. You've not seen the best of Enzo Fernandez again. I think you will see the best of Enzo Fernandez with someone like Caicedo next to him. It's exciting for Chelsea, and they're coming from a low point. So this is the enthusiasm they need to build back. And Chelsea will be looking at Man United last summer and going, look, they'd had a bad season, and look at what happened. And that's what Chelsea need to do. Get your comments in below. Smash a like on the video. Let me know what your thoughts are. Speak to you on the next one.